Buenos días o buenas tardes, año 7. Welcome to our third and final lesson for this week and for this term. For this lesson, we are going to not only do some revision of our learning of this term, but we're going to extend that and actually capture some of the learning that we did in our autumn term as well. So we're going to do a little bit of revision of everything, and it's really important to do that so it really consolidates that knowledge. As you can see there, practice does make perfect. The more you revise over it, the more it goes in. Okay, so it's really good to do. Entonces, por favor, escribir el título Revision of Year 7 Learning to date, that is, subrayar con una regla. Por favor, escribir la fecha, write the date, en español también, por favor, subrayar con una regla, underline it with a ruler. And our lesson aims for this week are to consolidate the vocab and grammar learned, not only from this term, but from the autumn term as well, to apply the grammar we have learned and the vocabulary by doing some beautiful writing, and we'll evaluate and set targets on how we can improve. Entonces, empezamos with, let's start with a starter task. I would like you to do a match-up activity. So how do you ask the following questions in Spanish? So there are lots of questions because we're covering some of the main topics from the last 3 terms. So 12 questions there with the translation in Spanish in the orange on the right-hand side. I'd like you to match them up. Please do write them in English and in Spanish in your books. I know that will take you a little while, but it will be really good revision to do that, and you will need that at a later stage in the lesson. So please pause this video for a good 6 to 7 minutes, I imagine, to complete that task. Excelente, muy bien. Let's see how you got on with that. So, number 1, do you have any brothers or sisters? ¿Tienes hermanos? Number 2, how many people are there in your family? ¿Cuántas personas hay en tu familia? Number 3, do you have any pets? ¿Tienes animales? What are you like? Question number 4. ¿Cómo eres? Number 5, what's your hair like? ¿Cómo es tu pelo? What color are your eyes? ¿De qué color son tus ojos? Where do you live? ¿Dónde vives? When is your birthday? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? That was one of the first things that we did in Spanish. What do you study? ¿Qué estudias? What are your teachers like? ¿Cómo son tus profesores? What is there in your pencil case? ¿Qué hay en tu estuche? And what do you eat or drink at break time? ¿Qué comes o bebes en el recreo? Okay, so lots of content in that. These are questions that that have been put to you over the course of the lessons over the last 3 terms. So hopefully this really consolidates your knowledge. A couple of points there. Remember to always do the upside down question mark for questions in Spanish. And don't forget your accents, they are important. Okay, let's give yourself a mark out of 12 as well. Hopefully you got most of those right. Continuamos. So today's class, 2 main tasks we're going to do today. The first is a translation. The second is a writing. We're going to put together a poster. So the first one, vamos a traducir a inglés 100 palabras, 100 words. So here is some text that there are 100 words in Spanish, and I know you think that's a lot, but I know you can do this. I would like you do not need to write the Spanish, but you just need to translate it so you can write the translation directly into English in your books or on the paper where you're working. I would imagine you're going to need at least 10, maybe even 12 minutes on this. So pause this video whilst you do that task. Oh, please try not to use Google Translate or anything. Use your brain, use your book, and try the best you can to do this. Please don't enter whole sentences into Google Translate. You're really not helping yourself by doing that. Okay, I'll be quiet now so you can get on with that task. Excelente, muy bien. Hopefully that recalled lots of knowledge from last term as well, and also consolidated our learning from this term. So let's see how you got on. Please, using a different color pen, ideally red, please mark your work. So this is the translation. This is what you should have had. This is what you should have written down in English. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to correct that work. So pause this video whilst you correct. Muy bien. For some of you, this might be the first time you've done a translation as long as that. So well done for doing that. It's the easier way to do the translation. It's much easier Spanish to English than it is English to Spanish. But as we go on, we'll do a mixture of both so you get good practice. Y continuamos. Finally, vamos a hacer un póster. We are going to do a poster. Now that poster was the best one I could find. It looks a little bit young, so try not to focus too much on that. The idea is that I'd like you to design a poster all about you. So you will need to use at least one page of your book or an entire A4 sheet of paper. Stick a picture of yourself, draw yourself as a stick man, or if you've got a photo hanging around, perfect. Put that in the middle, and the idea is that you write information all about yourself all around that picture of you. All your notes obviously have to be in Spanish, and I would like you to make sure that you answer all 12 questions that were in our starter task, which is why I asked you to write it in both Spanish and English. You can pause this and you can refer back to the translation in Spanish to help you write this. So if you look at the questions in the starter, you might think, oh, how do I start that sentence? Well, rather cleverly in that translation are the first sort of few words of all of your answers that you'll need, or everything that you want to write about on your poster. Okay, so use everything that we've done in this lesson to help and support you whilst you write this. You can make it as an imaginative and creative as you can. Use colour, use highlighters, however you want to do it, just make it as attractive as possible so it really, really stands out. Okay, so you can pause this video. You'll need about, at least about 15 to 18 minutes to do this task. Excelente. And finally, moving on to our plenary, I would like you to write down 3 strengths for yourself in Spanish and 1 weakness. Now, your strengths could be something like grammar. It could be understanding adjectives, adjectival agreement, where it goes, but a weakness, for example, might be your vocabulary. So write those down, be really truthful and honest with yourself, and try and be quite specific. And then based on your weakness, I would like you to set yourself a target to improve based on that weakness. Okay, maybe it's you don't know your colors properly. Maybe it's you don't know the verb tener that well. You get confused at the conjugation of the verb ser. Give yourself something really specific to learn that will help you improve. And finally, take a photo of your work from today and upload it to the Google Classroom assignment for your teacher to have a look at. I'm sure they'll be really, really interested and look forward to seeing all of your posters. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the class and the end of our online learning for Spring 1 term. I very much look forward to seeing you all in the new term. So have a wonderful, wonderful half term. Descansa, which means rest. Que disfrutes, enjoy yourself, and I will see you next time. Gracias, bien hecho, well done everyone, y hasta la próxima. See you next time. Adiós.